Hi folks, today I'm reviewing the new Mercedes Benz CLA. It was first introduced in 2013 and it's been extremely popular with the UK public because it's near identical to a C-Class, cheaper than a C-Class, and it's a work of art. In fact, since this new model was released, it made the previous generation CLA look 10 years older than it should. And with that being said, let's begin this review. I don't talk about design that often, but given how drastic the changes have been with the new CLA, it would be rude not to. I think we'd all agree the new sleekish and sloping roofline does make this car look good, but my favourite part is the front end because of this Mercedes Benz dot style grille and the dome sporty bonnet. There are a few other points I'd like to mention about the exterior of this car. It does go down as a coupe, therefore it has frameless doors, and yes, that means it's a nightmare in the winter because they do freeze up, but do get yourself some de-icer and you should be fine. And since we're on the topic of windows, located on the front window, you will see the signature of the founder of Mercedes-Benz. It's a cool Easter egg, but I'm sure every Mercedes-Benz owner probably already knows about it. Anyway, let's talk about the model variant that I'm currently reviewing, and it's the 2020 CLA AMG line Premium with a 2-litre diesel engine producing 188 brake horsepower and 295 pounds-foot of torque. 0 to 6 times are around 7.1 seconds, and it tops out at 152 miles per hour, so it's a bit of an autobahn weapon. There is a big selection of engine choices with the CLAs, none of which are offered in manual transmissions, and there's not many diesels left at all. I will pop up the whole range on the screen right now. All I'm going to say is avoid the 1.3 litre engine, as that is a Renault block. As for price and running costs, a similar car to this can be found for around 35 grand, and you'd be surprised how well they hold their value. There's about a £500 difference between a car that's done 5,000 miles and a car that's done 20,000 miles. Luckily though, car tax isn't expensive, as it will set you back £165 a year as it emits 110 grams per kilometre of CO2. Compared to the previous generation, the new CLA has grown. It's now 4.7 metres in length and 2 metres in width. It's also quite heavy as it weighs in at 1.5 tonnes. But a good reason to pick the CLA over the A-Class is because if you opt for the 4MATIC version, you could tow up to 200 kilograms more. I think it's a bit of a sort of flex. Moving around the back of the CLA, and we all know it's based off the A-Class, however the CLA has more sophisticated rear suspension, is stiffer, slightly lower, and the wheels are wider across an axle at the front and back. But it's not all good news. There are a few design flaws with the back of this car. For example, this diffuser here isn't real, and these exhausts, well, they have to be the worst fake exhaust fitted to any car on the planet. I mean, these are just atrocious. Next up, the boot, and I'm not going to open it the traditional way. I'm going to use the... That's just cool, isn't it? Anyway, you get about 460 litres of space with the rear seats up, and at first it doesn't seem like there's much, but once you dip your head down, you can see it goes in quite deep. There are 2 levers as well to pop down the rear seats, and a little quirky bit is on the boot. You can see it says Mercedes Benz. I mean, that's so unnecessary, but there you go. There's a high-class build quality in the back of the CLA, but unfortunately that's not going to make up for the lack of space. At times, even with the sunroof in this car, it does make you feel a little bit claustrophobic. In terms of features, you get this weird, funky floating rear grab handle on both the doors, a slot for your seatbelt buckle so it doesn't catch onto your rear seats, and you do get a armrest with one of the funkiest designed cup holders. I mean, just look at this, it looks like a fetus of some sort. Anyway, if a rear seat armrest is vital for you, then don't opt for the entry-level car as it doesn't come with one. Moving over to the main half of the interior of the CLA, and I have to say it has one of the best designed interiors of its generation. I mean, these dual displays look so cool, and the turbine vents that light up blue or red depending on what you do with the air controls are pretty freaking dope. If you're wondering when your next service will be, you should be able to ask Mercedes, the car, when it is. So let's turn the car on and try. Hey Mercedes, when's my next service?
The next service is due in 34 days.
There we go, 34 days. And also, you should be able to open the sunroof. Hey Mercedes.
How can I help?
Open the sunroof. No, not Sunrise Radio. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Open the sunshade.
Okay, I'm opening the roller sun blinds.
Yeah. Apparently the car can learn and adapt to your voice over time, so if you're a Scouser, you are pretty much in luck. And it's able to predict your personal habits, such as which radio stations you most listen to. And as cool as it is, I don't think many of these owners use this voice activation feature, so it's a bit of a waste of time for Mercedes and a waste of R&D. What I do love in this car is the 4 different instrument binnacle displays you could select. There's the option of classic, sport, progressive and understated. My personal favourite is progressive. It's quite flexible regardless of your choice, as you could change the menus within the little counters that you see on both the sides. The ambient lighting feature in this car is also one of the most unique features that can be found within its class. Once you select the ambient lighting menu, there's about a dozen colour schemes you could choose from, and there's different effects to it as well, such as welcome and a climate effect. Honestly, I could spend a good half an hour trying to choose my favourite. Some additional stuff that I'd like to mention whilst I was driving up here to the review location. So first off is when I came to a stop in this car, the front camera turned on and it popped up on the infotainment system. I'm not too sure why it does that. And also when you start up the car, the front lights do a little show, which I'll show you right now. This car does come with speed limit recognition, a speed limiter and cruise control, and a cool combined feature of which Mercedes have done is if you slide up twice on this slider, it will automatically set the cruise speed to the speed limit of the road. With that being said, let's go for a drive. Right, going for a drive in the 2020 Mercedes Benz CLA. And first off, I need to give a big shout out to Dal, he's a long-time friend. Businessman, entrepreneur, aspiring barber, and you know, he needs to become a YouTuber, man. He needs to become a YouTuber. So if anyone's watching this, make sure in the comments, hopefully this video goes viral, make sure to tell him he needs to start his own YouTube channel, as I'm sure he'll be very successful at it. But yeah, that's my shout out to Dal, the owner of this car. He used to have a BMW 116D. Link to that review in the pop-out banner up there and the description box below. Also, a lot of you have been asking, how do I review these cars? How do I get insured on these cars even? And I use a app insurance provider called Cover. Very easy, just got to pop in your details one time and that'll be saved for eternity, and you could just get covered on any car you'd like within the terms and conditions. So that's how I borrow friends, families' cars to review them. I will leave the link to their app or website in my description box below. So if you want to get insured on a car or borrow a friend's car, just click on that link and it will take you to the correct page you need to go. Fortunately, in today's review, I am driving a pure Mercedes engine. It is a 2-litre diesel, as mentioned, and it's torquey, let's just say that. 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, that is pretty quick. And let's say up against the Mini Cooper JCW, not that this has been tested, wink, it just lost by a slight inch. So it's quick, for a 1.5 ton car. Durability wise as well, you'd like a bigger engine, you don't want something that's tiny. As the smaller engines tend to not last long with heavy vehicles. I would say perfect combination, perfect setup is high displacement and low amount of power. That will give you that ultimate reliability at the end of the day. Anyway guys, what I'll do is switch over to point of view cam so you guys get a perspective of what it's like to drive from my perspective, as it's way better in this car. There's a lot of stuff going on in the interior, which I'd like you guys to see. So give me 1 second and I will pop on my GoPro to my head. Points of view in the 2020 Mercedes Benz CLA. How are you guys finding it? Do you like it, or is it a little bit weird? Let's change the displays actually. Let's go for, so we can actually change it to full screen as well, like that, which is quite funky. Just a little bit more about the steering wheel. This side controls the infotainment system and this side controls your main displays. You've got your home buttons for that infotainment system, and then you've got your home button for this little screen here. It can get a little bit confusing, but yeah, oh there we go, look, see that? Interesting, I don't know why it does that. So what I'll do is, just to, I think that might pop up some directions if I go into, let's go into navigation, let's put where to.
take the 4th exit at the roundabout
There we
onto
go.
534.
It does, no way.
Prepare to turn left.
Look, that is cool. So that's the in-depth tour and review on the 2022 Mercedes Benz CLA. In my opinion, it does remind me of a baby S-Class, and although it's very expensive for what it is and the power output that you get, it still offers everything you might want to imagine. I don't see myself in one of these, but I can see many of the public would. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.